This episode is brought to you by Computer Solutions R Us. Phil and his team hooked us up with all of our computers, and you can do the same for you. Head over to Phil at Computer Solutions R Us and tell him Inside the Game sent you. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Game, your one-stop shop for everything cool in video games. I'm one of your hosts, Drew Bosley. Don't forget to head to InsideTheGame.ca, where there you can be a part of the show. Now, some housekeeping news. The guys from ITG are heading to NGE, the Northern Game Expo, in Sudbury on April 27th. We'll be there with our own booth and a panel, so hit us up and say hi. Now, coming up on today's episode, Corey and I jump into a smaller version of a Battle Royale game. Scott and Nate jump into Vermintide some DLC. We also check out Tetris 99 this week, and a VR game and a whole lot more on this week's episode. First up, here are the guys to the Inside Scoop.
So some big news this year coming from E3 and EA. Unfortunately, EA is pulling out of E3 this year, but they are switching things up. For the last few years, we've had EA Play, and now that's kind of going to be their main focus. They're going to be, instead of actually physically there, they're going to be live streaming all their stuff at EA Play.
Joints on the knees and the front shielding. Behind them, it is weaker. Monstrous scar down. Finally. That's what you get for buying up.
So E3 is looking a little different this year, with Sony now pulling out and EA pulling out. It's really upsetting for me as a fan. I look forward to E3 every single year for that first opening day where I get to see all these awesome games coming out, and just to see these guys kind of pulling out. And I know they're doing their own thing, but it's not as exciting, in my opinion, as E3.
All right, all you Nintendo fans, VR? That's right, April 12th, Nintendo Labo is coming out with a VR kit. Experience a new dimension of Nintendo Labo with the launch of the Nintendo Labo VR kit. The VR kit offers 6 new Toy-Con creations to build, including the Toy-Con VR goggles, which combine with the other creations to allow players to interact with the virtual world through imaginative real-world actions. The VR kit encourages passing around the Toy-Con creations among a group of people, so everyone in the room can easily join in on the fun. This new kit builds on the core tenets of Nintendo Labo, make, play, and discover, to introduce virtual reality in a way that's fun and approachable for both kids and kids at heart. The first kit comes in at just under $100, with the complete kit coming with all 6 Toy-Con projects and the Toy-Con VR goggles. The second set is a starter set for $50 that comes with the Toy-Con Blaster. So all you Nintendo Labo fans gotta check out this new VR kit.
Good news if you're a fan of Overwatch, the 30th character is on the way, and his name is Baptiste. So mainly being a healer, he has a couple different really good abilities. The first ability allows him to delay the death of his teammates with a gas canister. The negative to that is that the enemy team can shoot the gas canister and end that ability, but he does have another one. His second ability allows him to regenerate himself and his allies' health over a period of time, even if they happen to leave your side. In addition to the healing abilities, his ultimate allows anything that passes through it to double in either damage or healing. So if somebody's shooting a healing bolt through, it's doing double the heals. If he's shooting through the wall, it's doing double the damage to the enemy. In addition to this, he also has an ability that gets him around the map a little easier. So his passive is, when you crouch for a few seconds, it builds a meter, and that allows you to jump really high. I, for one, am very excited. I might have to jump into Overwatch to check this new guy out. He's exactly my kind of character, a healer and an attack.
Choices? What do you know about choices? 30 million orphaned children. I was one of them. The Omnic War robbed us of our choices. To survive, you did what you had to do. Steal or starve, kill or be killed. You helped your friends and hurt anyone who got in your way. If you hungered to rise above your circumstances, then when someone offered you a hand up, even the devil, you took it. It wasn't complicated. At least that was the lie I told myself. The truth is, I had choices, and I made them. But when you think you're a big man, it's hard to admit that you are not a brave one. Even harder when you understand that making a living is not enough. You must make a difference. I am going to fight for a better world. For some, that means a bandage. For others, a bullet. Today, I give you the choice.
So developer Frozen Byte has announced they're bringing Trine 4, the Nightmare Prince, is coming. This is one of my favorite all-time venture platforming games. If you've never played them before, they will also bring the Trine collection, which will bring you Trine 1 to 4 this fall.
Once upon a time, our three heroes were reunited on a quest to search for Celius, the mysteriously vanished prince.
What's so urgent about getting this boy back to the academy?
Maybe they worry about him getting kidnapped.
Or he could run into trouble out there in those old ruins.
Now the heroes pursued the runaway prince through its forlorn pathways. What began as a simple quest to retrieve a missing prince was now turning into a much darker tale.
All right, Scott, you ready for this one?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, let's T-spin. All right, Scott, you and I jumped into Tetris 99. This has got to be more up your alley than mine.
I've spent so much time in this game since it's come out. I cannot put it down. I keep playing in the morning to wake up. I come off work and I play Tetris to unwind.
Really?
I'm in the bank in line and I play some Tetris because you can connect to the Wi-Fi there in most banks and opens it right up.
Man, so you do this to unwind, and I just get frustrated when I play because I suck.
Oh no, the music gets me going, and
music's cool.
every time it resets, I get reset with that energy to play more Tetris.
You know what I do appreciate though is how quickly you can jump into those matches. It is so cool. So if you don't know what Tetris 99 is, it's basically Tetris Battle Royale style.
It's the best battle royale this year, dare I say?
No, dare you say? We'll go with that. You ever heard of Apex?
A little bit.
Oh,
a little bit.
Fortnite? You ever heard of that one?
No, it's
Never
Fortnite.
heard of it, eh?
What is
Yeah,
Fortnite?
yeah. Sorry, Corey. But getting back to Tetris, so these things, it's just, I can't believe this is what Nintendo came up with. Out of nowhere, the game is free to play.
Completely out of nowhere. No news or anything. They dropped their Nintendo Direct, and it was basically just go to the eShop and download it.
And that was it.
And that's my preferred release now, I think, is the surprise, here it is, the whole game.
Yeah, no build, no nothing, right? It's just automatically, holy, there it is. Apex did the same thing. Nintendo did this with Tetris, and it's addicting. As much as I get frustrated because I am not very good at this, I actually called you up and said, Scott, how do I play this game? Because I haven't got a clue when it comes to picking up, because you can send your blocks to other people.
Yes.
So you battle it out and you can then pile them up. And next thing I know, I've got this like silver rows just piling, and then I'm dead.
Yeah, the junk line. The junk line can come from other people targeting you.
Yeah.
So you want to be really careful when you're picking your target for Battle Royale because you don't want to rustle everyone's feathers because then you get a lot of targets coming to you and it's almost an instant death. Like, that's the end of the game. But
yeah.
because they're only 5-minute rounds, you can just jump right back in. There's almost no load time at all. And I usually play in about 5 or 6 games. That's enough for me. And then I'll put it down, and then I'll come right back.
It's a pick up and play kind of title, right? One of those things you can jump in, you have a good time, or you're frustrated like me, and then bounce out. But then you kind of get that itch that you want to get back in to see how far you can get. I think the best I pulled off was, I think I made it in the top 10.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was 1 out of like 20.
Yeah, a lot of the times.
I'm like, one was like 87. I'm like, this was rough. Everybody just hit me. Like from all sides. I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, Scott, you got to help me out here.
Yeah, so you want to be careful when you're picking your target right early game. You want to pick one kind of straggler. If you see somebody struggling on the board behind, you can use your left stick to kind of select one person.
Yeah.
And you send all your blocks at them, tip them right over the edge. And you just move on to the next one. You try to knock off anybody that could come back at you.
Then you can build up your combos by knocking out, getting KOs, right, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so you let your bars build up quite a bit until you have a really big chunk, and then you can drop, a few pieces. You T-spin if you can. You can double, triple, and you send 8-10 lines at the other people, and they're just done. They can't keep up with that.
Awesome.
Good news, if you're starting to think you reached the end of all the new things in Tetris 99, they are coming out with public events.
That's not bad, because here's a good chance for you to actually win money on a free game. No microtransactions within this game whatsoever.
Totally free to play, no microtransactions.
Scott, if you're going to wrap up this review of Tetris 99, a battle royale that kind of surprised everybody, what are you going to score this one?
I love it. I have to give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think it's a solid game, and out of nowhere, I'm completely surprised actually how hooked I am. 8 for me as well.
Tetris 99 is one of the latest and greatest Battle Royale games to sink your teeth into this spring. Totally free to play with no microtransactions, this game is continuing to see support via community events with eShop token rewards. Addictive and a nostalgic surprise, a must-have for anyone on Nintendo Switch.
I'm casting some magical spells in this review. Alright, so this week I had the chance to jump into the Wizards, the Enhanced Edition on the PlayStation VR. This was kind of the ultimate wizard power feel you want in that VR experience, this actually goes really well together. Using the wands feels absolutely magical, no pun intended, for this wizard review because it only makes sense and you're moving your hands around. It's like being Harry Potter almost. Almost, because when I cast my spells, they don't always work. And that's probably the biggest complaint I have about this game, is that some of the controls and the way the VR works just doesn't mesh well together because it's clumsy and they don't sync. There's one power. You know what? Let's do this. Check this out. So movement in VR has been a little cumbersome at times. We can walk forward. For some people, this is motion sickness heavy. Sometimes I feel a little motion sickness, so I tend to either pivot and then hop around, which is pretty standard in these games. A lot of stuff like this, right? But let's see if we can fireball.
Never
right?
thought I'd be glad to see these guys. If they are here and not for your
All right, we're gonna
blood,
do this.
we must be on the right track at least.
Inconsistent is the name of this game, unfortunately. All right, let's do this.
Take that,
Huh?
brute! I love watching you work, my friend.
That's cool. That. Oh, it is moments like this in video
You seem
games
to have landed somewhere
that are
in the
just
wilderness.
incredible, and I
A
found that the
collapsed
powers that they've created here
Figures.
are
Can you
fantastic.
teleport across the gap? There might be another way across.
There's a couple more powers up my sleeve. We're gonna get to those. Right now, basically what we've done is we fought this magical
This is simply
creature,
fascinating.
but this
Please
guy
come
has
closer. I must see what this are we
teleported us into another world.
most peculiar?
And we're kind of jumping back and forth between the worlds right now.
Dimensional displacement.
But we are going to get into a big fight
Might these
right here.
Oh, did we arrive just in
So-
time for target practice?
You take out these guys. Inconsistent is the problem here. Okay. Right, pull up my shield. Where did that go? Come on. Alright, we got that guy. Yeah, he's dead. Okay. Here, take that. Come on. Got him. Inconsistent is the problem with this stuff. Ooh, alright. Ready? Look at this. Ow! Pretty cool. See if we can get this guy up here. Alright, we got him. We're good.
The architecture is remarkably well preserved.
Very cool
for a
powers
place
in
that's
this
been
game.
cursed and abandoned for centuries.
And it's fun, but when the powers don't work, that's where the game gets irritating. And it's unfortunate because that's the biggest drawback on this game, is when the bow and arrow twists on you. Like my hands are out of place, right? They don't feel proper. The reticule misfires. The fireball, look at this. I made fire, that's awesome. Unfortunately, I want to throw it here. Sometimes that works. And then sometimes it doesn't, or it falls here in front of me. So it's just moments like that. The game is cool. There is so much to do. Like these powers. Fantastic. But to fall in front of me, it's a little... Controls are the biggest drawback on this game. Let's check out the score. All right, so there's my review of The Wizards, the Enhanced Edition on the PlayStation VR by Carbon Studios. This overall experience was very fun with some minor glitches, more kind of technical glitches when it came to using the wands, which became very irritating and frustrating and really lowered the score of the game. Overall graphics are okay.
The feel though and that power you get of being the wizard and the way you're moving your hands, when it works, it feels so satisfying. It is fantastic. It is that one step closer to the ultimate VR experience of being a wizard that you really want, and probably the closest opportunity I've had to being Harry Potter. So that is very cool, and I'm gonna score the Wizards, the Enhanced Edition by Carbon Studios with a 7. Becoming a wizard is a powerful and entertaining experience. However, less than amazing graphics and inconsistent controls tend to lose our hopes of becoming Harry Potter. I won the last season.
Yeah.
Asterisk, controversial.
Thank you. I'll be here.
We all know Cutter 28.
That's right. See, I said that's how it goes. All right, so we're starting a new season, and Scott is joining us for this season, and we're going into Killer Instinct, kicking her old school. Some of these vibes, I kind of, man, this brings back so many memories.
Yes. Oh, I love Killer Instinct.
All right, so why don't we jump in? We are going to do question mark. Will just be a random character. And I think the fighting stage as well, right?
Yeah, just random.
Random. And winner moves on.
Oh, who's playing?
We didn't do this. Rock, paper, scissors.
All right.
All right, so Corey and I are going to go first once Corey joins in.
Yeah, so what's...
Oh, I see what you mean now. Yeah, he looks like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
See,
not quite.
Do I not even get... I don't even get told who we get?
Ooh. Oh! We get told now, probably.
Oh!
Right,
no, now you do. You're going to find out now.
Oh, all right. Man, cool. All right, this should be interesting.
Oh, wow.
What do you got?
Oh, someone got Glacius!
No.
I've never played this.
The new season.
I've never seen Kim
Going
Woo
down,
before.
Drew, I think, maybe.
Yeah, we're just going to button match the crap out of this.
Yeah,
I hope you don't like these
I'm sorry if anyone's a Killer Instinct player. We are not that great at this.
No, we're just here to
I know how to play one character.
Well, you got nunchucks. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
And dragon ghosts.
Whole lot of ice going on.
A big ice cube, man.
I like the maps.
You're a big block.
Oh, Glacius is so cool.
He's very cool. He's probably cool.
Oh, he's huge.
I know. yeah.
So just remember what I said, boys. It's all about the angles. And since Corey knows...
Woo.
Okay.
All right, you good?
Yeah, sure.
That's good, because I was already started.
Oh, the uppercut.
Yeah, this isn't Mortal Kombat. Woo! Oh, nice grab.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So bad.
This is about as good as our Smash footage.
Oh, yeah.
At least you're colliding most of the hits.
Oh, yeah, at least you're connecting.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just going to go over on my own.
Spoke too soon.
Oh, combo! Oh!
Oh, no.
Oh, no!
All right.
No.
Oh! Okay.
Down back B, Corey.
Ow.
And down back B, down back A, down back B. You gotta mix them up.
Holy crap.
Okay.
Cause that's how. Oh yeah, that's how the combos work. You can't do like a light move and a light move, a light move. You have to like kind of do like light, medium, and alternate. Or at least it makes it a lot easier.
Man, I was doing well. This is so rough.
That's how I play Mortal Kombat.
See, I'd rather play Mortal Kombat.
Uh-oh.
Oh!
I don't know what I just saw.
They both did a special.
You have no idea how. Oh, come on.
Oh, it's so close. No. Corey!
Oh, man.
Good job.
I tried.
You got close. That's close.
All right. Now we're in with Scott and Nate.
All right. Let's see how this goes.
That was intense. That was intense.
That was pressure. All right. Random now for Scott and Nate. I like this part. We have no idea. Who
Actually, that is pretty
Until you get in the fight, like, oh
I
man.
still wouldn't know though.
That's true. That I feel the same way.
Except for Volgar. That's the only one I know.
I don't know anybody.
Oh, you got Kilgore.
Volgar. Okay.
I've never played as Maya. Oh no.
She's pretty cool.
Is she?
Yeah.
See, like honestly, the characters in this game are fantastic.
Some of them are. There's one I was goofing around with. He's this big gargoyle looking.
Oh, Gargos?
Oh, man.
Or is it
I was
his
like, what is that?
clone?
What a creative name.
He's from the originals.
Oh.
Yeah, Kilgore's cool.
Wait, are we playing Anthem?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
An autocannon?
Javelin.
Oh, okay, that doesn't quite work. All right, good luck.
Yeah, this. They already look better than we do, Corey.
Oh, I always want to.
Ooh, nice move.
There you go. Wow. All right, so Nate's got something happening here.
He's played this once or
Oh,
twice.
a little bit. Did you play a lot of this, Nate, before?
Yeah, I played a little bit of Glacius.
I can't.
I'm checking it. I'm going on the Xbox app and checking. He's got 900 hours played in Killer Instinct.
What?
Come on, Scott.
I was dead.
This is your first game on.
That's so weird.
You got him impressed.
Let's see if I can do something fancy here.
Okay.
Oh.
There it is. I did.
It's a secret. He's not gonna tell us how to do this.
Oh, he did it again.
You know, like I said, you just gotta do.
Fireballs.
Do like down, back, or sorry, down. Yeah, down, back, and A and B at the same time. Try that. You don't have your bar. There you go. Ah! There you go. There you go. Top tip. Ah!
Okay.
Oh, we almost had you. Come on, Scott. Come on, last time we had Nate on a 0 streak there for the longest time.
That's not happening ever again. Oh, combo breaker.
Nice.
Nice, dude.
Oh, that was it. I thought. Oh.
Oh, this is not looking good for Scott.
Oh.
Come on, Scott.
No.
Oh, I keep pressing the wrong button to grab you.
I keep trying to get underneath you, but it doesn't work.
Oh, this is.
Oh, nice anti-air.
Oh my goodness.
That's
wow.
close, man. That one was close.
Man.
She's cool.
I said she was.
I definitely was button mashing when I figured out
cool moves.
2 moves.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Oh.
Moving on. You and me, buddy.
All right. I like that controller so much.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I want to cheer for either one of you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling nervous?
Yep. I can't lose the first game on segment of season 2. Oh.
Oh no.
I might know how to play as them a bit.
Oh, no.
A bit. Like
Well, this is.
you got Mira.
She's got a sweet line.
just
It says,
think-
I will break you in half. Watch out, Fulgore.
You want to be Anthem Javelin?
Whoa.
Have you confessed your sins?
Whoa.
That's aggressive.
She. Am I supposed to go to?
It looks like you're on the home rink here, though.
Oh man. Yeah. Maybe you can go up top with one of those spider things. Okay, really? Oh my god! Yeah, no, this is.
a nice combo breaker.
I meant to do that.
I knew it. Nice execution, Drew.
Thank you. All part of the plan.
Uh-oh.
Oh!
Oh, caught him.
Woo. Nope.
Drew, I'm trying to pick up tips, see how you're playing with that controller, but it's
It's not working? Man! Come on.
well, that's cool.
Oh.
No! I had you for a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this is not good.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, well, at least he died once.
Ah!
No!
Oh, you blocked it. Good. Oh!
Oh!
Oh, good job.
That's it.
Good
If
fight.
you could have strung together 9 more combos, you had them.
And that is it. Nate takes game on, the first one for season 2. So that puts Nate in the lead already. Let's see the rest of us can come back in the next game on segment. Let's get back to the show.
Corey, you like survival games? Yeah. Good. That vigors. All right, Corey, you and I jumped into a game preview on the Xbox game. We were talking about Vigor. What'd you think of this one?
Cool game. I mean, I played a couple survival games, reviewed them on the show.
Yep.
This is a different take, and I kind of like it because it feels like a battle royale, but it's not. If
like
that makes any sense.
It's like a battle royale light.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you are out there to survive in the world, go out, gather materials. This is the coolest part for me because I like doing this kind of stuff. Right? You go out, you gather materials, you come back, you exit out of the map. So the idea is to grab your materials, survive if you see anybody.
Yes.
But if you do, man, because if you die, you lose everything.
Everything you're
But you want to
carrying.
get as much as you can, get back to the exit zone, bail out, go back to your home base, and then rebuild the whole structure that is a pretty run-down looking shack.
Yeah, it's quite the shack when you first get it. I mean, you see what the world looks like around. The environment in this game looks fantastic. I think it's a really nice looking game.
Yep.
Like I feel like a very PUBG sense style of game where you know it's a lot of forest and that kind of area, but it looks really cool. And when they first show you your shack, essentially,
more or less.
even though it's dilapidated, sort of, it feels like home because you're like you feel alone in this game right off the hop. If you are playing single player, there is a co-op duo kind of mode, which is also a lot of fun. But it's the inventory style in this game where you're picking up stuff on the map and you're maybe encountering other people, but you also just want to get back because you don't want to have too much stuff and lose it. Like you said, if you die, you lost everything, all the work you're doing, and
your guns too.
Yeah,
like it's not just the material you gathered while you're out in the world; it's your guns. So
everything.
When you go back to your home base and you gather all these resources, you can then work on your workshop. You rebuild the workshop. So now you're at level 1. Now you're level 2, and then you can build this, and you get a log, which gives you materials.
Yeah.
So you're getting all these resources to help upgrade this rundown shack.
Yeah.
But when you're out in the world and you die, the gun you have with you is now gone. All the material you gathered is now gone. So you have to go back and rebuild.
It's not forgiving.
Oh man, if you have a nice gun, like seriously, you work really, really hard to get that gun and craft, look for those materials because these are different. It has that like RPG element.
It does. It does. Yeah, you get this kind of gather this large inventory of items while you're out scavenging. And then you come back to your home base and yes, you can craft materials, you can upgrade your base, and they've done a pretty good job at having this kind of intricate upgrade tree involved in the game where you kind of start off like you said, you've got your 2 of 14 logs as you're building up and you're fixing up your dilapidated shack, and then there's crafting skills as you move along and you can craft better weapons and items like that. So it's all about what you collect out there, and there's stuff everywhere. You can find things and materials everywhere. Weapons are a little harder to find, but again, that's where you can get some of the material and craft these weapons yourself.
Yes.
And like you said, sometimes you need to craft extra ones because you may go out and lose them. And for me, I found the only thing about this game that kind of got me right from the beginning that I didn't really love is when you're picking things up.
Yes.
I'm a Battle Royale player, and as anybody knows that plays Battle Royales, is you jump in and it's all about picking up items quickly, sorting out your inventory, and going. This game obviously has a much slower pace than any Battle Royale out there, but I found it very difficult to pick up items in this game.
You have to be directly in front of whatever it is.
Yes.
If you're off to the side like a little bit, it won't give you the X to highlight
to actually interact with the item. I found
weird.
myself actually having to move my player and then look directly down at the item to pick it up, and for me that's very
that's when you die, right?
Exactly. Someone's gonna come running while I'm trying to pick up something out of this box like this, and someone's gonna take advantage of me doing that, and it's disappointing. And again, we're talking about a game preview. This game isn't full release yet, so there are gonna be things with this game that need to be improved or worked on. And I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a huge thing, but it's something that could definitely be easily fixed and make this whole game experience a little bit better.
They're working towards it. And one of
Yeah.
the other mechanics that I'm having a bit of a struggle with is the shooting mechanics behind this game. It's really floaty. I have no, like, I know there's no one to, like, aim assist, but there's
Yeah.
just nothing for me to actually lock onto my target. I'm just, and I'm gone, and I'm over here.
You kind
and
of
the
feel
guns
like
are
it is,
kinda-
like you said, you're always floating.
Yeah.
It's never easy to lock onto a target. I mean, I've run into a few people in this game, but for the most part, I try to scavenge and run back and then maybe just go out on the hunt. You know what I mean? I've got
Yeah.
some stuff and I've picked up a few things, but now I want to interact, see what the other players are doing out there and maybe troll a little bit. And this game allows you to do that, right?
It's so cool. Actually, I really do enjoy what they've kind of come up with this idea of.
Yeah.
It's not a big map. There's 6 maps that you jump into. You don't get to pick one.
No.
You just jump into a random lobby and then away you go.
Yeah.
And then you're in snow, forest, like
Yeah,
whatever.
and
And it
then-
looks really, really
the scenery
good.
looks really great in this game.
Yeah.
I was impressed. I wasn't expecting a whole lot going into this. I mean, we paid $20 to get a game preview on this.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, it's a well worth $20 spent. It's like the game looks great. It plays good. And there's obviously issues with it, but like we said, it's game preview, so there are going to be problems.
Yeah.
But just the overall look of the game, kind of the player movement, I thought
it's very PUBG.
It was, and I'm not a big PUBG guy, but it did
right?
feel that way, and that was my
Instantly.
first impression was PUBG when I saw this, and it's even the same kind of pace as PUBG in the sense where you're
Yeah.
sitting back a little bit. You're not necessarily, you're not running in there looking for battle. You've got a different objective.
Well, yeah. So when you're out looting, but there's a drop. There's a loot crate that drops out of the sky.
Oh man!
So everybody spawns differently within the map, right? But on the map itself, it will highlight where that spawn point is going to be, where the drop is going to be, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was close to that drop.
Oh, I personally never went near it.
I just want to bail out, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? I don't really have any great guns on me. I'm gonna linger.
Let's see what they got.
So yeah, I lingered around, and there's one guy. I'm like, ooh, there he is. Cool. I sight him up. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh, I didn't craft any ammo, so I had no bullets after I started shooting at him. I'm like, well, I don't know where the loot crate is, but I'm out of here. And that's why I took off. All I had was my knife.
Yeah.
No, that's not good. Then he's shooting at me.
Can't bring a knife to a gunfight,
No,
Drew.
I'm out. All right, Corey, so this one isn't exactly one of our standard reviews because it is game preview on the Xbox. It's a different kind of spin on how we're doing this one because it's more of a recommend or not recommend because the game isn't finished. You see in the game that there are issues, like we said, with the X, being able to select things. The gunplay isn't perfect yet. They're still working and developing.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Bohemia Interactive is the guys who made DayZ.
Yeah.
So if you like that genre and now what we're talking about too, solid developer in what they're doing.
Definitely might be up your alley if that's kind of what you're looking
Yeah.
for, if you're a big DayZ fan.
So, wrapping this up, recommend? Not recommend.
I'm definitely going with a recommend. This game's going to be free to play. As far as I'm concerned, if this game fixes the problems that they have right now, the minor ones that they really do, in my opinion, I'm definitely going with a recommend.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Recommend this one for sure. Go pick it up.
Bigger's a cool spin on the survival game genre. The ability to play this game co-op with a friend is also a really nice touch. The base upgrading and weapon crafting is very well laid out and easy to navigate, but I found when picking up items sometimes it was difficult to target them. You almost had to be right on top of them to pick them up.
All right, Nate, we're here. Overwatch, new season, new league, some big changes this year. I'm excited. We've added a pile of new teams for this year's season. We've gone from 12 teams last season to 20 teams. So we had 8 new teams this year, and one of them is actually from Toronto. So that's kind of exciting for us, local team, I guess, in comparison to where some of these teams are from. But we're looking at almost a whole new format this year. Last year they had some issues. They played 48 games. 12 teams played 48 games apiece last year. And we know the way these tournaments go, or these games go, that it takes some time to play these games.
Oh, absolutely.
And what they found last year is a lot of the competitors, a lot of the athletes were actually starting to pop up having health problems because they were actually having no downtime in between matches when it comes to days in between, and they were causing a lot of problems. So it raised a lot of concern for the league.
Yeah, like some of these teams, you know, they're in the tournament, so that day is already booked and they're busy gaming. And then they're 2 days off, they're playing 15 hours straight on this game.
Not a lot of sleep.
No, it's not a lot of sleep. And that, like they said, it fatigues them. Some of them are calling sick. So it's really good that they've changed the layout this year.
Yeah, so we've gone from 12 teams and 48 games to now 20 teams and 28 games.
Yeah.
So we're looking more at almost like a playoff schedule, or sorry, a NFL schedule where we have bye weeks and weeks off like that. So teams aren't playing as many games, so it gives them a little more time to recover in between matches, and more time to practice.
Yeah.
Because we do have some new teams here with some new players, and they're getting thrown into the mix with some of the best teams out there right now, and they need these extra days to kind of recover, recoup, because this season's also bringing in homestead games, which is travel.
Yes.
Normally they play all their games in California, and this year we do 4 stages, 5 weeks each stage, and they play in Burbank, California, and it's Thursday to Sunday, these games, 2 games a day. Some teams may play 1 game, some teams may play 2, some teams actually may have the week off. So that allows for that break to happen, and it's really, I think it's going to be beneficial this year for the athletes.
Oh, yeah. Especially with the travel, like you said, man, like there's so many different time zones. So.
Exactly. So not in this first stage, actually, but starting in stage 2, for stage 2, 3, and 4, they're actually going to be traveling to different cities for one of the weeks during that stage, which I thought is pretty cool. This is actually, the Overwatch League is the closest thing to an actual professional sports league that you'd watch on television when it comes to, you know, baseball, basketball, hockey, NFL, things like that. So this is huge. This is the biggest esports league out there, and I think the changes they've made this year is going to really allow this to grow, because the fact that they were able to add 8 teams to this league is exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we've done a bit of a recap here for the first 3 weeks. We're on week 4 now, and let me tell you, we've got some pretty definitive standings when it comes to where some of these teams are sitting, and we'll start off right off the hop with New York. They are they're 6-0 right now. They haven't lost a game, and I think their map differential is like plus 16 or something like that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They're not losing very often at all to anybody, and they're taking their matches quickly, and they're kind of wiping through their competition now. We've got some new teams. The Toronto Defiant actually they're in the upper half.
Yeah.
But for a new team, these players don't get to pick from necessarily the same player pool that some of these established teams already have. So they actually work out of a free agent pool. So basically any player that doesn't get signed from any of the current teams before the expansion go into a free agent pool, and then these 8 expansion teams actually got to choose from that pool, and also a pool of qualified players to kind of make their team. Some interesting teams sitting at the top. We've got the New York Excelsior. We've talked about them. They're 6-0. They're smashing their competition right now. But they have a tough matchup this coming week against the San Francisco Shock, who's actually sitting in 4th place. They're 3-2 right now, but they have a very aggressive play style, and it's kind of the match to watch this week. It's the big one. Everyone wants to see if somebody could take down that big player, right? So New York's going to have a tough test this coming week.
So another matchup to watch out for this week is Vancouver Titans are playing against Paris Eternal. So Vancouver's in 2nd place.
Yeah, they've been doing well.
Yes, they have, which is awesome to see. Our Canadian
yeah, we like
another
these Canadian teams doing well, right? It's fun to see them in here and doing well.
Yes, absolutely. So Paris Eternal, they're sitting at 9th place because
they're just out of that playoff spot, right?
Yes.
Well, Toronto is actually tied in 7th right now, and that keeps them just inside that playoff berth for the stage. And now Paris is looking for some points because they want to jump into that
because now we're in week 4 and we're going into week 5 of stage 1, and then after week 5 they do a small playoff every stage. It's going to be exciting to see some of these teams that are right on that cusp, to see if they can break into that playoff bracket, because it means a lot at the end of these stages to be in these playoffs, because it helps you later on in the season when you're accumulating points overall.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a really key part of the season right now.
Yeah, it's it's the battle before the war, we'll call it. Right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what the regular season is. It's a grind, and these teams are in it now. We're well into the first stage. We're getting close to the end here. So we've gone through 3 great weeks of games so far. So we're gonna throw it to a few highlights of some of the best ones so far, and we're really looking forward to see what kind of highlights come out of week 4 as well.
San Francisco, it'll be a self-destruct that comes in with an air shatter as well, and that's going to be 2.
Nomi, Audrey and 5 can get down there. The self-destruct didn't claim its target, but perhaps it just didn't have to. Coalescence now, bit of icing on the cake to remove MG from the picture. No more Baby Diva stalling available for the Zed. The Dragons now, destructive pressure for. They've got this one. They forced them back easily enough. Absolutely smashed.
Those are ones you kind of don't expect anything to happen. Starting to hear the headshots. And then,
my boy Manga Chisels out there on Twitter, like, let's see some depth from this team. And that's the big stick, Lynx. There's no better time to put a pulse bomb in the enemy team than when they're all inside a cavern. And Carpe cleans house. And it's a party now. What goes around comes around.
I love it. I love it.
Never mind, we'll get to that later. Neko, wow, just commits to it. Jonak survives! How does he do it? The sick volley there, the clutch to keep himself in this fight. Now, that means the volley's here to keep doing work. Dreamcasper, however, he's zeroing in. He's spotted him.
Available, gonna be a miracle needed out of Mako, and Diva simply doesn't have the tools to pull it off.
Boston, in the end, looks like they will hold another Deadeye for Dreamcasper. That was a quick one. But
See, Yobi somehow touched.
No, wait,
See, Yobi somehow touched during that. They're still alive.
This is still possible. Overtime Wick is going, and now we have Libero going for the back line. Neko could be gone, and he is beheaded. Sold for spare parts. Libero doing the work right now. Gamsu's out as well.
Oh my God! They are so close to finishing it out. They will finish out Gibraltar. Yeah, that fight is all over. So frustrating too when you think you've got someone back.
Buddy.
All right, we're back, and we're headed to Borgenhaven and back to Uberlisk.
We're back again.
All right, Scott, so we're reviewing the DLC for Warhammer Vermintide 2. There are 2 DLC packs. One is Borgenhaven. It's a hard word to pronounce because the spelling is really weird.
There's a lot of crazy spelling in this game, yeah.
So we're headed to Borgenhaven. We got 2 missions with that, and then we have 3 re-rastered missions from the first game. And it is awesome, man, honestly.
We played a lot of that first game and those missions too, so it's very familiar to us going through on this game now, with different power levels, different characters, and everything. It's a whole new game.
It honestly, like, while I was playing it, I actually didn't, like, I felt at first like I didn't really recognize it. I'm like, it just looks so much prettier. And I do feel like they've opened it up more. They've so much exploration with this
the map
DLC, man.
The map was very big. I don't know if it was that big in the first game when we went through it the first time,
No, it
but
definitely was.
it seemed like the courtyards were really big. All the rat hordes were much bigger, and there was a lot more to do.
So the first DLC pack was Borgenhaven, and it's just 2 maps. But with these 2 maps, they, like I said earlier, they have really opened up the exploration of this game. Like, there are so many ways to complete this mission. Like, I got lost the first 4 times playing it, going a different way. I'm like, I haven't even been here before.
That's my problem too. I lose track of you guys and I go down an alleyway and I'm lost for 5-10 minutes. And then the rat's coming and it gets messy quick.
So with Borgenhaven, the 2 new missions, we actually they have some new elements in the game. So partway through the first mission, you get to this big room, and it's honestly like a Call of Duty Zombies phase, where you're stuck in a room and you get to repair the windows, and there's just hordes of creatures streaming at you.
There's like 3 or 4 windows that bust in, and they just keep coming until you can board them up, and it's a futile battle.
It was just it's funny because just a little change of the gameplay. It really it added something really fun to it. And not to mention, without spoiling too much, at the end of the mission, you have to escape, and there's just something really cool attacking you.
Now, it's a really hard escape, though, so it's hard to get to the end of that one, but if you do, it is rewarding.
So that's just the first mission. With the second mission as well, again, so much more exploration, and they have this whole, it's pitch black, and you have one person carrying a torch. And then if you don't stick together, you cannot see absolutely anything around you. It is pitch black.
They're introducing horror elements.
Yes.
Last stands.
So when you see those little glowing red eyes from the rats kind of coming at you, it actually is pretty freaky.
And the sounds that come with them.
Oh, yes.
The drums beating and the scriggling writhing of the rats. It's very ambient.
Oh, absolutely. It's a pretty unmatched feeling when you play this game.
Of pragmatism, Elf. There are too few righteous souls in the world. Their efforts should not be wasted.
We'll do what we can, but there are no guarantees.
Listen, assassin!
And for the price point, I have to come back around to that. It's only $10 each DLC, and who knows if we're gonna get more.
And not to mention, so I bought the DLC, and I was like, hey Scott, hop in and let's play some Warhammer.
The best
And then I was like, oh, I'm just gonna try the Warhammer or the DLC. I prompted it, and it works.
It
you
loads
don't have
up.
to buy the DLC. As long as one person owns the DLC, it shares within all your friends. So
You jump through the Shadow Gate just like normal, and I'm in the DLC with you.
yeah, you don't have to purchase anything. Like this game, they don't have any microtransactions. They have 2 DLC packs priced at $10, which when you look at it just as it is, as 5 missions, it sounds small, but it is not.
It's not.
There is countless hours of gameplay within these 5 missions, and it is pretty, and it is fantastic. I highly recommend this.
So this game has made us like loot boxes, oddly enough. No paid DLC other than the expansion packs. That's fine.
Yeah.
Lots of product there. And they're kind of changing some of the normal things you would see in the industry. And it's brought us back. We've been playing this game a lot. We're probably going to continue playing it still.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not putting this game down anytime soon.
No, it's hard. I just keep coming back.
So the second DLC pack is Return to Uberless. I have a hard time pronouncing that word. But yeah, so it's the first 3 missions from the first game, remastered, pretty as ever, and slightly different. They like I had mentioned before, they just added this exploration element to it.
New
and it's
spit
really
and polish.
opened it up.
New spit and polish, the new corridors to explore, a lot bigger open areas.
Highly recommend this, just because if you played the first one and you're like, oh, it's just the 3 missions re-fleshed out. No, it is not just that. There are lots of challenges and just more missions to be played in this fantastic game.
And you're going through with your character, adding to that and all your equipment with it. So even if you are playing these old missions again, it might be fun to go through it again with friends and get a whole new set of stuff for your new character in a new game.
All right, Scott, so we could talk about this game all night. What do you get to score Warhammer Vermintide 2 DLC?
I love it. I've been playing the game more and more. The DLC keeps me coming back. I understand the game better now, so I'm enjoying it a lot more. I have to give it an 8.5 out of 10.
All right, man, I am right there with you with an 8.5.
The DLC for Warhammer is more than worth its value. Priced both at only $9.99 Canadian, you get countless hours worth of exploring and satisfying slaying. The 2 new missions bring some new fun game mechanics, and the 3 levels from Vermintide 1 have been beautifully remastered, adding extra great content.
That bloody troll!
You know the guys and I have a blast on this show, but sometimes standing in front of this camera can be a little more difficult than you anticipate. You never know exactly what's going to happen with mishaps, funny moments, and of course, one of my favorite, the bloopers. Let's check these out.
All right, Jump Master, let's head into the...
All right, Jump Master, let's head it. I can't finish. I was ready too. I was ready, man.
I screwed up the Hydro Dam. That's the only place I can think of. I don't know. Where's another like a loot place?
Oh, the Thunderdome, bro.
Thunderdome, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
All right, so all you fans of Nintendo Labo should gotta check out. Just like, you know, when you it up, right? Like the word just came out. It's like, should have do.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Game, your one-stop shop for everything cool in video games. Now, don't forget to head to Inside the Game. Oh, I didn't say who I was.
Yeah, you're Cutter 28, bro.
Everybody knows that.
That's gonna be funny.
Man, I'm not gonna let that one down. I'll never hear the end of this one.
If you're an Overwatch fan, there's good news for you. The 30th character is on the way, and his name is Baptiste. Baptiste. Damn it! I know, as soon as
All right, Scott, you ready for this one?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, let's T-spin.
You know what that is?
That was great. So good news if you're getting bored of the game, they are offering hints at future upgrades and updates in the future. So that was garbage.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Yeah. Corey, you like survival games? Yeah. Good. That vigors.
Good job.
You know what? I had the fact that you made me have to answer a question. I was like, just don't laugh. Don't laugh in my head. And then you said something. I'm like, what did he say? I was thinking too intensely of not laughing because I had no idea what you were gonna bring to the table on that. That's great though. That works.
All right, Corey, that is it for another episode. Now, each and every week, you guys hit us up on InsideTheGame.ca. We're there. We feature one of your highlighted clips. Corey, who do we have this week?
We got a great Anthem clip, some intense storm footage from Mailbox Arson 88.
Nice. Let's check it out.